The Edify Show presents Win Calls the Heart Wednesday, featuring interviews from Kevin McGarry, Erin Krakow, Andrea Brooks, and now the host of The Edify Show, Elliot Wallach.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Win Calls the Heart Wednesday. This is a day that we're going to set aside to talk about a lot of the amazing things we saw in the previous episode. This is going to be episode 1 of Win Calls the Heart. Now, what I'm going to show you is just a sample of what we put together for the after show you can pick up on the Season 12 Collector's Edition at wincallstheheart.com. Let's take a look.
Kevin, thanks for joining me. Episode 1.
Happy to be here.
We're kicking off the season.
It's not like you're going to keep me here the whole time, right? This is just a quick one episode, and then that's it. You're never going to see me again. I'm going to be able to walk out the door at the end.
Sure.
Yeah, great.
Of course.
Just one episode. That's
Just
what I
one.
agreed. Just one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's do this one.
So let's talk about the end of season 10. No,
Yes.
Season 11.
I wouldn't have been able to remember it.
Right.
Oh, that Lucas got shot. Yeah, we can talk about that. I didn't remember that. Okay, no. And end of season 11.
Yeah, we have the cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger is that old
Hargraves.
Super Nintendo Hargraves shows up and tells me, asks to
something
talk
about
to
Jack.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
It has to do with her late husband. And it's a
What
dun,
did
dun, dun
you
moment.
hear? Like, did you guys? Because you didn't probably know what they were gonna do for the next season. But like, I'm sure people were on social media, like, oh, what's happening? Like, what were some of the craziest?
Oh, like what do we see
people saying-
after it was done?
Yeah, like no, people. After they
or like what
dropped
people
it.
wanted to happen.
Yes,
What people wanted to happen after they saw the end of
I'm
season
having
11?
a flashback.
You're having a flashback?
Yeah, to you and I when we have like.
Oh, trying to understand each other? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah. You're right. We could play that clip.
We could.
It's fair to say that theme for Nathan would be relationship challenges in this episode.
Theme for Nathan or theme 4?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like he said theme 4, like
saying
there's
that
3
it's
before.
something-
A
something
theme
that-
for Nathan.
Yeah, that
Yes.
defines Nathan in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is relationships?
Challenges.
What is happening?
Like this one.
Yeah. This
Right
is it. It's like
now.
challenges.
That's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Relationship challenges?
Yes.
There we go.
I'll
We got it
clarify.
back. We're back
I'll
together now.
clarify.
How do I think the fans reacted to the cliffhanger? Is that the question?
I need to get you ahead of time. You can write my questions for me.
Do you want to know what I thought the fans wanted to happen?
Yeah.
Or
what you saw online, or what they might have wanted to happen, or.
Well, I think there's many opinions all the time.
We talked about a lot of different options for how we could come back from that cliffhanger. I thought it was a really interesting take. I think that the medal is a really symbolic way of shaking things up a bit for Nathan and Elizabeth and little Jack and Bill, seeing how this, tiny object is meaningful to people in different ways. But there is some concern from Elizabeth that this might be hard on Nathan. And really, Nathan's concern is more about his relationship to Jack's demise. Is that going to be a painful thing to have to explain to little Jack someday? I think the response is that there's really no point in worrying about that now. And we all know how we feel about it. So let's just enjoy our lives together. And little Jack is lucky to have a man like Nathan in his life. Nathan ends up really honoring Jack's memory by making this little shadow box for the medal. He wants to embrace keeping Jack's memory alive, which is so respectful and meaningful, I think, both to Elizabeth and little Jack.
And the medal continues on into the school with little Jack.
It does.
How do you feel about little Jack starting school this
Oh,
year?
it's so sweet. It's so nice to have Highland in the classroom, and really nice to see this new chapter for Elizabeth and little Jack. Yes, he brings the Medal of Bravery to school for his first day, and then very sweetly decides on his own that he would like to share it with Lily because she's feeling very nervous about her first day of school.
So sweet.
So sweet.
How has that been working with Chloe as little Lily?
Yes, Chloe is phenomenal. She is just such a joy. She's such a brilliant addition to our cast. And I love this storyline for so many reasons, but I think it's something that Faith has earned after years of turbulence with her love life and working so hard to become the medical professional that she is. I just think that this was the storyline we didn't necessarily see coming, but as soon as it happened, it was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And she's a phenomenal actress. She's so professional. She's so good at hitting her mark, finding her light, listening to direction. And she's in second grade, and she's more professional than most of the cast on this show, I will say. Love everybody, but man, that girl, she knows what she's doing.
Well, we saw her at HFR.
Yes.
She interviewed, and that's what I thought. Wow.
Yes.
This is, like, you just don't expect that from somebody so little.
I love being Lily because she's sweet and also sometimes funny. And I love working with Andrea, and I love when all the kids are on set because I get to play with them.
Do you play with them?
Yeah.
So poised, confident.
So poised. Yep, it always knows her lines. And yeah, she's a joy to work with. And I think what works best for our dynamic is she wants to be here. She wants to work. She wants to be in the scenes. I remember last year, we were initially scheduled to work on Halloween. And I remember I was like, come on, guys, she's young. I have kids. Like, we don't want to work on Halloween. And they ended up adjusting it. But she was like, I don't mind. Like, I love being here. And I was just thinking like, you're willing to miss your Halloween because you love working in Hope Valley. But no, she's phenomenal. I love the storyline. I love her story for season 12, kind of joining in with the rest of the kids at the school. I love her dynamic with little Jack. And yeah, I just hope she continues to flourish for years to come on this show.
And you seemed like such a natural. When you became anti-faith, you were so natural at it. Did you draw on your own experience of being a mom?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I see we have a third one on the way.
We have a third time now. That we are, hiding and using props to cover. And it's been a journey.
What is Barbara doing? How is she accommodating?
We know what we're doing now. This is our third rodeo on this show, dealing with hiding a pregnancy when the character's not actually pregnant. Yeah, I think we've learned something each time, and we're doing a lot of layering, coats, vests, and when possible, when shooting, we try to block scenes so that I'm either shooting dead on or holding a prop, which is comical, but the way it goes. And yeah, I think with costuming, there's a lot you can learn. You can, by adding a belt, it draws the eye to the smallest point, kind of giving you a figure like this so you don't necessarily see a bump right away. There's a lot of things. She's really great with patterns. She experiments a lot. And I always joke, I say we should probably do a podcast one day where we actually sit down and analyze each costume because there's a story for each one.
Is this a new suit?
I've read enough. Is this a new suit? No. I think I've had this for a couple seasons. I don't know. Let the viewers, that's a trivia question we can put. When did he first appear in this suit?
I'm going to find it.
We could put it somewhere up here. Yeah. Answer A is season 8. Answer B, season 9. Or answer C, season 7. The winner gets $10,000?
I think.
$10,000 to the winner. All right.
Now you've just cursed me. I'm going to have to go back through all these.
You got to pay this person $10,000 whoever calls in.
Yeah, right. Is this a new color for you? I don't know if I've ever seen you in orange.
Yes, I believe, I think I wore this in season 10, maybe 11. Okay. So it was kicking around the wardrobe, and then we're obviously doing kind of a fall-inspired theme today. So there's a lot of autumn colors, and this one, I like this one. It's a longer vest that if I am to stand dead on, it works with a prop. You know?
I feel like maybe she altered the skirt.
The skirts have come up with each passing year. We've gone a little shorter. We've gone a little shorter. Sometimes the details change because one thing Barbara's great at is she'll take a costume you've worn for 5 years and she'll rethink it. She'll be like, let's move the buttons. Let's change the belt. Let's change the seams, the hems. Let's bring things up. Like she's very creative and she's always thinking. Just because you have a costume doesn't mean it'll stay that way forever. She updates them. And I think that's just one of her strengths.
Is there anything about this era in the costumes that you're enjoying? Like maybe shoes or jewelry or I don't know.
I feel The spirit of Hope Valley is still very much frontier. So we've not lost sight of that. Obviously, the 20s, we're well into the 20s at this point. So we get the odd little flash here and there, and then there's the odd party. Then, of course, once you venture out of Hope Valley, you really see the 20s and its decadence. But yeah, I'd say the biggest thing for most characters, a lot of the shoes have changed. I know Faith has a lot more stylish shoes in her wardrobe at this point. The skirts have come up. And the odd time when there's an event, I know we've kind of, I've never had a bob on this show. I've never been that short, but we've definitely kind of gathered the hair up, and I have worn some little headpieces in the past,
I remember
too.
that.
Yeah.
So you're expecting, you already have 2 children.
I do.
But you also have now a TV child.
I'm confident that had I not had my own children, I would have made that storyline work. But there's something about being a mom and just kind of tuning into that frequency when you're shooting a scene with a little kid. And, you know, I've said it's the biggest seismic shift you can undergo in life is becoming a parent. There's nothing like it. There's nothing you can quite compare it to. And I'm so happy that Faith had that opportunity. And I'm so happy that we got to see Faith adjust and learn how major that is to care for a little one.
And you mentioned Lily going to school. How do you think Faith is feeling about her starting school?
Oh, nervous. I remember the first day I dropped my own daughter off at preschool, I had to sit in the car and just have a moment because I cried, because it just happened so fast. In the blink of an eye, they're in school and that's it. They're with their peers and you're not in charge. And I think oftentimes the parents are just as nervous, if not more, than the kids. So I think that we see that at the beginning of season 12. We see Faith kind of, you know, wanting to make sure she's okay and she wants her to thrive. And then when she takes a step back and says, I don't want to go in, it's kind of crushing in a way, because I think deep down Faith probably doesn't want to let her go either, but you want your kid to thrive. So it's a beautiful dynamic. And I just think having little Jack there to be that encouraging force is just so brilliant.
And what a sweet scene with the medal. Yes, those two together. Do they like working together? I mean,
they are hilarious to watch together. They're very different as kids, but I think they bring out the best in each other. And yeah, they hit it off right away. I remember Chloe had watched, when she first started on the show, she was in the process of watching all the previous seasons, and she got up to the Highland seasons and she was like, oh, I'm gonna meet him. And it was like, yeah, not only will you meet him, you're gonna have scenes together because you guys are the same age on the show. And yeah, they became fast friends and they're super cute. And I just, you know, they have a dynamic in real life that kind of comes out in the scenes as well. And yeah, it's really fun to watch.
How is it working with Highland? I mean, does he get confused? Does he ever call you Mama?
He keeps it separate. I mean, he might call me Mama Erin, but if it's Mama, it's just Mama during the scene and on set. He's great. He's so silly and fun, but this season especially, he's focused in a way that feels like he's growing up a bit. You know, he's getting a bit more responsibility. He has more lines to say, and he delivers. And he's not just, you know, saying his lines. He's really performing. He's acting through these stories, and that's exciting to see his growth in that way.
Any fun storylines for him this year? Or poignant storylines?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything, but yes.
Yeah, but that's great. I mean, more time for you to interact with him. And as the kids get older, they can do a little more, right?
Yes, it's true. He's
more, like
capable.
Also in the school, Angela and Timmy and Emily are graduating.
I know.
I mean, they were really, I feel like they were just little Jack's age. I mean, it's gone.
It was maybe like 12 years ago.
I know, but doesn't it go by fast?
It does.
It goes by so fast.
I know. Grace and Emily was just yesterday in her little braided pigtails.
Yeah.
Oh, I can remember her so clearly. This tiny little thing with the pigtails, looking up. And now, you know, we're the same height, I guess. So she's really? They're remarkable. They're such incredible kids who've grown up to be really fine young men and women. You know, they're good people, and I'm just so proud of them in life and on set.
Some of them are approaching the age I was when I started on the show, which is just very wild to think about.
Because they still sort of dress them in a way that they seem younger.
Yes.
And you see them outside in the real world, and
Yes.
of course you can tell they're young adults.
Yep.
And then there's little Ellie too.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Ellie, yeah,
Little Goldie.
Yeah, I mean, lots of little kids actually. It's
Yep.
been a little while because in the very beginning we had little kids.
That's right.
But of course everybody grows
Grows
up.
up.
I mean, they're
Yep.
adults.
Yes, they're adults now.
It's been a joy working with them and getting to play their teacher and see them grow. And now I just get to watch them soar and I do so with a lot of pride.
Are we going to get to see some of their storyline play out? I mean, it feels like they're setting something up with these kids that we're going to learn a little bit more about their journey.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We get to feature them and learn more about their feelings at this stage of their lives, and they really rise to the occasion.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see it. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me.
Of course, my pleasure.
Hopefully we'll be able to do it again.
Great.
And that concludes this sample of what we put on the Season 12 Collector's Edition of Wind Calls the Heart. Again, you can pre-order that at windcallstheheart.com. And we'll see you next time on The Edify Show.
Tune in next week for Hearty TV Tuesday. Elliot will be interviewing Chris McNally on the set of Wind Calls the Heart. You won't want to miss it. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube page. And never miss a thing when you register at hearties.com, where people around the world are coming together to support inspiring entertainment. And we'll see you next week on The Edify Show.